June 1st, 2026, the Dallas Mavericks announced they have entered into option agreements to purchase 104 of the 110 acres right here at Preston and LBJ, the entire former mall footprint. Right here, this exact spot, Preston Road and LBJ Freeway, 104 acres of flat, empty Dallas dirt. June 1st, the Dallas Mavericks said, "This is where we are building our next home." I am standing on what is about to become one of the most talked about pieces of real estate in the entire country. And to understand why this moment is absolutely electric, you need to know the full story, because this isn't just a sports story and it isn't just a real estate story. It is a Dallas story, and it is one hell of a story. Go back to August of 1973. Right here on this exact ground, the Valley View Center Mall opens its doors, and North Dallas absolutely loses its mind. This wasn't just a mall, this was the place. 4 major anchors, Sears, Dillard's, JCPenney's, and Macy's. Over 130 stores, a food court. In 1982, 1 mile west, the Galleria opens. More upscale, more modern, more everything, and Valley View starts bleeding customers almost immediately. Then 1990 hits like a gut punch. Bloomingdale's goes bankrupt, closes its doors, and what follows is an actual court battle over who gets to take over that anchor space. The space sits empty for 6 years. 6 years of an empty anchor at your mall's front door while the competition up the road is thriving. The 2000s bring online shopping. North Park is pulling the upscale crowd. The Galleria has the international shoppers, and Valley View is caught in the middle with no identity and no foot traffic, so stores close one by one. Lights go dim in section after section. And then by around 2015, the mall is essentially a ghost town. There's one stubborn holdout, the AMC movie theater, which somehow hangs on through all of it, all the way until COVID finally closes it for good in early 2022. 1.6 million square feet, one of the most beloved malls in Dallas history, gone. Embarrassing, doesn't even cover it. But here's where the story takes a turn, because in 2012, a Dallas developer named Scott Beck and his family at Beck Ventures acquires this property. And Scott doesn't see a dead mall, he sees a city. His vision is called Dallas Midtown, and it is absolutely staggering in its ambition. We are talking $4 billion, 2 million square feet of office space, 4,500 luxury residential units, a 5-star hotel, restaurants and retail, parks and trails, a European-style glass-enclosed market. Scott described it as nearly 3 times the size of Uptown and West Village combined. And he goes to work. He gets the entire area rezoned, navigates the city's entitlement process, and then, and this is remarkable, he establishes a $432.5 million tax increment financing district, the largest TIF ever created in Dallas's history. That is not just a vision board, that is infrastructure. That's commitment. That is putting real money behind a real belief in this land. And then reality hits, and it hits hard. The demolition of the old mall begins, and immediately there are problems. Asbestos discovered throughout the structure, homeless encampments in the abandoned wings, legal battles over property. Every step forward feels like 2 steps back. Then COVID shuts down the entire world. I mean, crazy. Meanwhile, there's a separate fight brewing with the city over basic infrastructure, specifically a sanitary sewer line the site desperately needs to support dense development. Think about that. You can't build thousands of apartments and office towers and hotels without having sewer capacity. And for years, that one piece of missing infrastructure held everything hostage. The abandoned structure starts catching fire multiple times. One fire injures firefighters. The city finally steps in, and the last of the old structure comes down in May of 2023. Now the land is clear, but it's just sitting there, empty. People in the neighborhood start to wonder, is anything ever going to happen here? Late 2024, Beck's team finally gets a sewer infrastructure completed. Then, April of 2026, just 2 months ago, Beck Ventures breaks ground on the very first building of Dallas Midtown. It's called the Premier at Dallas Midtown, 6 stories, 296 luxury apartments, 13,500 square feet of ground floor retail right at the corner of Dilbeck and Preston Road. 13 years after acquiring this property, dirt is finally moving. Scott Beck called it the launch of the next 10 to 15 years of his words, roughly $5 billion in development. And then 24 hours after I'm shooting this video, everything changes again. June 1st, 2026, the Dallas Mavericks announced they have entered into option agreements to purchase 104 of the 110 acres right here at Preston and LBJ, the entire former mall footprint. They want to build a brand new state-of-the-art basketball arena surrounded by restaurants, entertainment, green spaces, and a full mixed-use district. Target opening, 2031, when their lease at American Airlines Center expires. The Dallas Mavericks, who have played downtown since 2001, are leaving for the first time in franchise history. And they're coming here. What does that actually look like? The Mavericks described it as a vibrant mixed-use destination, which sounds a whole lot like the vision that Scott Beck has been fighting to build for 13 years. These 2 stories just collided, and the result is going to be something that Dallas has never seen. The Valley View TIF district and the Dallas Midtown TIF are structured together like a barbell. Valley View in the north of Dallas, Redbird Mall on the south, and those 2 TIF districts are financially linked. And what that means is a massive development here, like say an NBA arena, could unlock $100 million of tax increment money for Redbird and the surrounding communities in southern Dallas. This isn't just a North Dallas story, guys. This isn't just a Mavs fan story. This is a whole city story. Development money flowing from Preston Road all the way down to Redbird Mall because of what happens right here. So what does all of this mean if you live around here? South of LBJ, Preston Hollow, and the established neighborhoods all around, these are some of the most prestigious zip codes in all of Dallas. The LBJ Freeway acts as a real physical buffer between those neighborhoods and this site, and they're not getting bulldozed. What they are going to get is a significant boost in property values. Living a short drive from a world-class entertainment and dining district without actually being adjacent to it is historically a very good real estate position to be in. The pain point is going to be the traffic. Preston Road heading south on game nights with 20,000 people trying to leave at the same time is a real concern. Residents in this corridor have already been vocal about traffic and noise. That conversation is about to get extremely loud, extremely fast. There's also been a long-running conversation in this community about capping LBJ, literally like building a deck over the freeway to connect the north and south sides of the district. A development of this scale might finally create the political will and the financial resources to make that happen. For real estate investors, the window is now. I mean, like right now. Before the ink is dry on a final development agreement, before construction cranes show up, before the national press writes their 10th article about this, the land and properties within a half mile of this site are about to be looked at very differently. Now, I want to be straight with you because this is still early. This is an option agreement, not a signed, sealed, done deal. There are still negotiations within the city with the property owners. Multiple stakeholders have to align. A full development agreement has to get approved by Dallas City Council. This still has to cross a finish line. The Premier at Dallas Midtown project that just broke ground in April, it's on a 4-acre parcel within the Mavs 104-acre footprint, and nobody has officially said what happens to it. Beck is at the table on both sides of that negotiation, as the landowner and as the partner in Anthem Development, which is building the project. My bet is that it either gets absorbed into the Mavs district plan or gets a buyout, but that's not settled. And the biggest infrastructure question hanging over all of this, there's no dart rail here, guys. American Airlines Center has a train stop. This site has a bus service only. On 40+ game nights a year, plus concerts, plus events, LBJ Freeway and Preston Road are going to be tested. If the city and the Mavs don't get in front of that with a real transit plan, it could become a real problem for the surrounding neighborhoods and for the fan experience. This is 104 acres of Dallas dirt. In 1973, it was a mall that defined a generation of North Dallas life. By 2015, it was a ghost town. By 2023, it was rubble. And yesterday, the Dallas Mavericks said, "This is home." That is a comeback story for this land, for this part of Dallas, and in a lot of ways, for our city. I'll have more updates as this develops. If you're a Mavs fan, Dallas resident, a real estate investor, or just someone who remembers going to Valley View Mall as a kid, this story is for you. Drop your memories of Valley View in the comments. Tell me what you think about the move, the Mavs, and stay close because this story is just getting started and it is huge. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did. It was very windy if you didn't notice. Please come back, like, subscribe, all the things. I love that you keep watching and we're gonna have updates, not to mention these other awesome videos that we have. So come back, I'll come back, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.